What's up everybody, Dan Dasilva here, and I'm really excited about today's video because I actually had a special guest with me, Fred Lam, all right? So I mentioned him yesterday in yesterday's video when I talked about those of you that are selling in fringe that you gotta stop. But today I actually have an interview with him. We just got off the call probably 30, 40 minutes ago. But what I really want to let you know is that this video, I'm really going to get in depth with what's working with him and how he actually went out there and built up a massive e-commerce empire where he was able to generate $20 million, and literally in the last 90 days, he was able to go out and generate $1 million. So this is going to be some pretty cool and crucial information for you. And for those of you that are new, even those of you that are experienced and want to learn how to level up, this is stuff that I highly suggest you raise the volume for, you pay very close attention, because there's a lot of stuff that we're going to cover here. So without any further ado, let's dive into it right now, and I'll see you at the very end.
All right, everyone. So we have Fred over here with us. Fred, can you say hi to everyone so they know you're a real person, please?
Hello, everybody.
Awesome. So what I really want you to talk about, Fred, is we're going to be touching on three things here today. First thing is first, you've done around $20 million worth of sales. And I mean, just in 2015 alone, you did almost 12 mil. All right, so what I really want you to talk about is the dynamics that it takes to hit these type of numbers. Because a lot of people, when they think, a number like 12 million or 20 million, $1 million in 90 days, they think, first off, holy cow, that's impossible. But aside from impossible, that, it's probably, and I touched on this yesterday, but like infringed and whatnot. But I just want to say, first thing is first, Fred is definitely somebody who I know 1,000,000% doesn't get into infringed. That's something that I need to just go and start off with this video with, is because of the fact that I know a lot of people who go out there and they easily sell, things with a Captain America on them, and you're easily able to go out there and push 6 figures worth of products that, well, another brand has built up. But Fred went out there and he took something completely wasn't branded or anything, and he hit these results. That's why it's more important than anything to go out there and realize that there's people out there like Fred who are dominating, and the best part is, I also know that Fred's main traffic source isn't what everybody else is used to. Here's the thing, everybody's running to Facebook, but Fred's like, okay, everybody go run to Facebook. I still use Facebook, but I also touch on, Google, Bing, etc. So Fred, what is just give me at least number one, the biggest tip that you can tell everybody right now that has allowed you to hit these type of numbers. And give me the best tip you got, please, Fred. Do that for me.
The very best tip that I got is to really find one product and to implement an entire sales funnel strategy from the beginning and at the back. Because ultimately what you wanted to do is to really find a specific product in a specific niche that's going to really sell and give you the ability to use that product as a hub and to create a sales funnel to really exponentially grow your average order value. And at that point, you can afford literally any advertising source out there in the market, including Google alone, which a lot of people are scared about.
So Fred, you hit the nail on the head over here, and this is something a lot of people don't understand. Now, I have, just for reference, I have your $1 million in 90 days screenshot open right now, and what I really want to talk about is the fact that if you do the numbers over here, where it's 18,000, I'm recording my screen, so I'm going to open up a calculator. So we have around $1 million. We're going to round it up to $1 million. Well, it is $1 million. I don't need to round up. But if we take 18,300, your average order value, $54, $60. I know somewhere else it's been higher as well. You've hit upwards of like $200, $300 on certain funnels that you have. Now, the biggest tip you can give anybody is really harnessing in on the actual funnel process, because here's the thing, and I preach this over and over and over again. If your competition is going out there and spending $2, $3 for a $5 or $10 sale, right? People like Fred are going out there and spending $30 because they know that with a single $30 sale, they can make back $200, $300. So Fred, is there anything you want to add on to that, or basically exactly what I said?
So to add on top of what you just said, my biggest average order value is over $2,200.
So say that again?
My average order value, the one that I have the highest in my sales funnel, is $2,200 something dollars. I forgot what the exact numbers are, but ultimately you want to have as high as possible your average order value, and that's exactly the strategy that I've been using for the past decade in my e-commerce experience to really scale any businesses. Because you're right, If you're going to constantly just basically advertise and make a $5 margin, and you're not going to really hit a really gigantic number. And in fact, you're going to leave your business very vulnerable, because what if that product just died one day? What if you're not really branding your store into giving you the ability to actually sell from your hub and diversify? So there are a lot of things in place. Now, I'm not saying that this is not the right strategy. If you are new to e-commerce, if you're new to creating your business online, this is the perfect strategy to start. But if you really want to scale to a massive number, you really need to look at crafting a sales funnel and putting in an average order value as high as possible. One of my business that I generate, another business of mine, my average order value is at $150. That gives me the ability to actually go mass market and not just be within my niche. So there's all those strategies that I use to really scale all my businesses.
Exactly. Now, you mentioned something really, really important that I just want to talk about. On one of your stores, you actually have a 2,000 something order value. Here's the thing. A lot of people, they're scared to have higher priced products in their store. When somebody's in a buying mood, they're going to keep on purchase. So it obviously depends on the niche as well. I don't want to say that for every single niche. But what I can tell you overall is when somebody's going out there, if they're going to buy $37 product, right, or a $39 product, a $100 product, you can sell them on something that's $300, $400, etc. Now, obviously, you're going to have to play around. There's no set 100% right number for upsells. But people, when they're in a buying mood, upsells work, and you keep on going if you have the correct funnel. So, yeah, Fred is 100% right, and that's why I wanted to really have him on here, is so he can really explain the importance of having a funnel in place. Now, Fred, my second question is, I want you to go ahead and give the top 3 tips to creating a 6-figure store the fastest way possible. Because here's the thing. I already know that you go out there and create these stores, I mean, like clockwork. Like, it's so easy to do. But what's your top 3 tips you can give anybody starting off at any skill level to go out there and legally go and create a 6-figure store the fastest way possible?
So if I were to really give some tips, the first one will be find your golden product. Find your golden product. And you really do this by leveraging AliExpress right now and giving you the ability to actually find what product is selling well. Now, if you're able to break even on the product in your advertising right now, or even make a little bit of profit, that's great. Then you want to go to tip number 2, which is building a sales funnel. Now, in building a sales funnel, there's basically 2 steps to it. One is to create your own landing page to actually promote that product. Because at the end of the day, Shopify is amazing, they're great, but their product page is not very controllable. But in internet marketing, in advertising, and in the real marketing world, you really want to make sure that you test your landing page, because it will make a tremendous difference. By having just a headline difference, we'll have your conversion upside down right away. Just a headline. So these are the things that you want to put at play. Now, once you're able to get a landing page to increase your conversion, then you want to put a sales funnel in place right at the cart. Okay, so you can actually increase your average order value in day 1. Now, to give you another tip is to really treat your customers properly. And I don't really tell people those are my customers. I treat them as my client. It's kind of like going to a doctor's appointment, right? You basically treat a person like a client, so they always keep coming back, and not as a customer where they just come and go and you don't build a relationship with them. So in e-commerce, you want to build a relationship with them. You want to really feel and invite them into your tribe, and to really keep selling other products to them, and to become an advocate of your brand. And that's how you start to build a brand presence that is strong enough for you to actually sell even more products to your customers and to increase your average order value.
Exactly. So, Fred, you even said it the best. And something that I learned from you over the past few months and whatnot is the fact that funnels, and I already knew that funnels worked really, really well, just from seeing people like Jake Wilson, who went out and did 0 to 300,000 in 90 days. I already knew that funnels worked really, really well. But here's the thing, a lot of people don't understand how to use funnels. And if you're watching this video right now, what I want you to do is take a look in the description, because I actually have a longer video, about a 40-minute video, where Fred and I recorded yesterday. We were actually in Shopify HQ. We talked about funnels, and he even gave us a demo of how he went out and created his funnels so he can go ahead and create these type of, basically these type of funnels inside of his store on Shopify. And that's something else that I want to make sure you're very well in the know about, is that this video, these links are in the description, and you can go watch how to do these as well. Now, Fred, the last question I have for you is where to source products. You already talked about this, AliExpress, but more importantly, what I really want you to go ahead and touch on is, because I know you have a lot of, you've dealt with this a lot, let's talk about the most important question anybody ever asks, merchants, okay? This is a topic of discussion whenever anybody talks about getting paid. Merchants. What is your take on merchants? I know a lot of international people. I know you're in Canada, so it's a little bit easier for you rather than those people in, let's say, Israel and Pakistan, wherever. But I want you to just talk about merchants in general and what your rule of thumb is when looking for a third party using Shopify.
So what I would really basically do in terms of merchant now, I want to make sure that we're clear. Are you talking about merchant in terms of processing or merchant in terms of vendors providing you products?
I'm talking about processing.
Processing. So in terms of processing, what I really suggest you guys to do, especially people that are international, is to use PayPal. That's the really route that you have. Because if you're going with Shopify, there is going to be a percentage on top if you don't accept Shopify payment. However, if you start to grow your business to an X amount of dollars, that's an ideal for you, there's actually an exclusive invite-only program within Shopify that's called Shopify Plus. And that actually eliminates your processing fee, and you can really process with whoever ones you want, like tocheckout.com. You can use PayPal Flow Pro. You can use a lot of other stuff, which you don't get the additional added costs. Now, obviously, if you say, well, I can't do PayPal is not really something that I can have right now, and I'm an international merchant, and I really want to really get into the space, two suggestions for you is, one, really team up with someone that is in US, in Canada, in Australia, or UK that can really basically be the processor. So you're partnering with someone else, so you're really saving the fee. Now, the other thing that you can do is build for long term. So you can actually go after another merchant processor like tocheckout.com or the other ones and pay that additional fee. But what you got to do, though, is to really factor in that additional processing fee on top of the merchant processing fee so that you still have a healthy margin. But if you're able to hit X amount per month, and I don't remember on top of my head what the minimum requirement was, you can actually apply for a Shopify Plus account. And with that, they will give you the ability to eliminate the Shopify fee on top of your merchant fee. So that way you know that you have an extra 1 to 2% in your bottom line if you're able to hit that number. So that's what I do. But I'm in Canada, but that's what I suggest you to do if you guys are international, I should say. So other than that, yeah, that's really how I would actually teach people to structure their business.
Perfect. Thank you so much for coming out here and kind of explaining all this. Now, what I just want to leave off on really quick, obviously I'm going to cut back to my face in this video, but what I just want to let you know is look in the description. There's literally, I don't know how long we're running for right now. It's probably going to be like 15, 20 minutes, who knows. But anyway, look in the description down below. Not only am I going to have Fred live with us as he goes out and creates a store in front of your face and talks about Facebook ads and traffic and whatnot, but I want to make sure you're watching the other video that Fred and I created when we actually flew out to Ottawa to sit at Shopify together to go over everything that we've been doing. Now, this is some incredible stuff, and what's most important is everything Fred just mentioned here, I'm going to show you live. Well, Fred's going to show you live on the video that I created for you and the workshops that we're holding. So go down in the description down below. And Fred, thanks a bunch for coming out here. I know you're packed right now. I can only imagine holiday season. It's kind of rampant. But again, thanks for coming out here, giving me solid 20 minutes of your time. And yeah, so again, thanks a bunch, and I'm gonna see you live with everybody else. So again, Fred, thanks so much for coming out here.
No problem. Thank you for having me here.
Cool.
So I hope you enjoyed all of the information that we just shared with you right now. So what I want you to do right this very second is take a look at the description down below. The reason being is because I actually have a, I think 36 or 38 minute video with Fred where we went to Shopify's headquarters and we went ahead and recorded an entire segment there just strictly training. But not only that, we went back and I sat down with Fred in front of a computer and we went over every single little aspect of creating a store. But the best part is I asked Fred to come and sit on a workshop with us, myself, you, me, etc., on a workshop and everybody else where you can go ahead and learn exactly what Fred has been doing to go and create his stores that he creates them in literally 17 or 18 minutes. And within the next 60 days, he goes out and runs traffic and he creates a six-figure store, which is pretty dang awesome. And he does this like clockwork. So I want to invite you to come watch this video. The link's down in the description. Check it out. I know you're absolutely going to love it. And make sure you register for the workshop because as always, I did this with Onik and I've been doing this over and over and over again. We only have 500 seats available with GoToWebinar. So you need to make sure when you register, you grab your phone, you set a reminder, put a post-it note somewhere, just make sure you're there, make sure you attend. Very, very important that you set a reminder for yourself because if you don't, you're not gonna be one of the 500 people that are actually on there live with us. So without any further ado, take a look at the description, click on the link, go there, watch the video, and then register for the workshop if this is something you wanna learn how to do. So again, my name is Dan Dasilva. Really proud that you stuck with me throughout here and listened to Fred talk as well, because I know that can kind of be a little daunting listening to Fred talk. But again, we love Fred. Anyway, register. I'll see you soon.